Well, welcome everyone. Welcome consultants, directors, guests. Guest, if you put your name in the chat and who invited you on, and I do know there'll be people watching this afterwards, but thank you for joining me. This is going to be, 30 short minutes, maybe even less than that, but I've just heard a reoccurring story in the last 2 or 3 weeks of people being let go from their jobs. And so I've heard one of my son's friend's dad, who was just months away from retiring at Ford, let go, not with his retirement benefits, at a high up level. Ford just laid off 1,000 more people a week or two ago. One of Jake's friends, who's a designer at GM, he they just lost 1,000 people on his team were fired. He was spared, but who knows what's next. Good friends of ours, her husband works for a private university in Metro Detroit, is in charge of their whole security force. He was a federal agent prior. He just found out yesterday, pack your boxes up on your desk and your job's gone. Our university needs to trim $10 million. And so your salary is part of that. You guys, this is a reoccurring theme. And as I hear this, I'm forever grateful that someone offered me a Mary Kay facial 38 years ago. A woman who was a new consultant, and there's some of you on right now, you're brand new consultants. And so you're inviting women to listen to this because it's part of earning your pearls of sharing. It's part of your training because we want your warm market exposed to what Mary Kay has to offer, because those women can be talent scouts for you, or maybe it's for them. And some of you are going into leadership training positions. And so you're moving up the career path. You need team members by the end of the month. You need team members next month. You're building a team of women because you believe in this opportunity. And Mary Kay Ash always asks us. I was trained by her. You can see her picture. I don't know where I'm pointing. Over there. Over there. I can't do it. Mary Kay Ash. She started this company to give women just like you an opportunity to be paid what you're worth, no glass ceilings, no politics. She had experienced lots of territories being taken away from her, positions being taken away from her and given to men because they had families to support. Meanwhile, she was a single mom. And so Mary Kay was a go girl, like, come on, women, we can do this, but you're not going to win this by dressing like men and acting like men, which is what she started to see in the 60s. They're still not going to pay you any differently. So she created this so that we wouldn't have to deal with what women are still dealing with today. Honestly, with some of the things going on with women, I think it may be harder for women of all ages, from little girls on up, in all the different arenas than it was even in the 60s. We've regressed dramatically as far as women go. And she was ahead of her time. She gave this to us so that you could be paid what you're worth. And it was countercultural. So we don't follow the economy. So where companies are laying off and cutting back from the top, because that's who they pay the most, in Mary Kay, a lot of women on this screen are going into a leadership program because we have room at the top. We have a large percentage of our nationals retiring because Mary Kay has a family security program that the company will give you when you retire at 65 or 70, depending on when you become a national. You need 5 years in, 60% of your income, 60% for 15 years, totally company sponsored. We are run by the family and owned by the family. There's no stockholders. We're not at the whim of all of the stock market. Also, our product, we make ourselves. And we distribute directly to your consultant who gives it to you. It doesn't go through me. It's not multi-level. They buy from Dallas, Texas, and they either drop ship it to you or send it to you or drop it off to your front porch or have it at your party. 50% profit, highest in the direct sales industry. But because our cost of business is less, because we're making the stuff, we are inventing the stuff, whereas most other people are buying formulas and buying it through levels, putting it in brick and mortar, selling it through levels of people, it costs the consumer more. In this economy, we're saving customers money. because they can either get their products at half off by being a consultant, no quotas. So get yourself at half off for Christmas. That could save you money, or make 50%. And what that could look like is having 6 women virtually or in person around a table. They call it a Mary Kay party. You're taught how to do it. We have all the tools. All you have to do is copy the right cats, and we are the right cats because we were trained. I was trained by Mary Kay Ash. This is your Mary Kay lineage that's up on that wall. That's how close you are to Mary Kay Ash. You are going to have the best training and support available in all of Mary Kay, I guarantee you. And because of the age of the company, 61, and that we have to retire at 65, those of us who trained with Mary Kay are retiring. So to replace a national sales director, you need 20 directors. So Mary Kay is incentivizing directors very nicely financially. I'm a little bit jealous because 36 years ago when I became a director, I got a unit number and a pin that said sales director. And additional avenues of income, not complaining, and the opportunity to earn the mid-level car, the prestigious pink Cadillac. So not complaining. But directors now have an opportunity to get their suit jacket, which Deborah has on, that's so beautiful, for free. That saves you about $250, $300. And then leadership conference in San Antonio, your registration for free. And then every quarter, you can have an opportunity to have $1,000 bonus with 2 other $1,000 bonuses. So $6,000 in your first year, in addition to all the other avenues. A free car, no car payment, no insurance payment, plus bonuses galore. But see, the company's wise. They put their money where they need the talent. And so right now, if you're listening to this and you're like, I'm a leader, I mean, whatever I do, I lead. I lead the PTA, I lead the homeschool group, I lead the softball team at, church, I lead the fill in the blank. Wherever you go, you lead. You gather people, they look to you for advice. You know what? You could use your leadership ability in Mary Kay, and the company will pay you very well, and we will teach you how. And something that I think is really important too is that people tend to, when they're not making enough money or not happy with their jobs, they'll go back to school. But right now, is the degree really worth what you're paying for it? Are you going to make that much more money? In education, you're not, but you have to have it. And also, too, in business, I was just talking to someone like, do your professors, your business professors, have they ever been in business before? Because when I was getting a marketing degree at Michigan, they had it. They were teaching from theory versus practice. A lot of colleges have changed that. But in Mary Kay, you have someone that's teaching you, your director, your national, and access to all the information in Mary Kay from people who have already done it, that are experienced. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. And with the combination of all that training and support and encouragement, and then the step-by-step mentoring with your sales director, because everyone has a sales director, you can run as fast and far as you want to. That's up to you. If you come in and say, I just, want to have a debt-free Christmas, or I need to pay off this credit card debt that we've just been using for groceries and gas, and it just keeps getting deeper every month. Or I don't want to be one of those people that opens up my email and I'm downsized or outsourced, or my whole team is in a different country now. I don't want to be one of those people. So I want to have a plan B, meaning that you get a consultant number, you enjoy the products at half off, and you can plug people into this. You can be building customers and team members really passively. But when you decide that you want to do it as a business and make money from it, we're going to be right here supporting you every step of the way. It's an insurance policy, and it's an insurance policy that makes you money versus costs you money. And it also allows you to have a peek into our pink world to see if it's something you would want to do more of. So you guys, the timing's never been better. If you are a guest on, I want you to think of a couple things, and even consultants. This is very applicable. I want you to think of a dream that you have in your life. For those of you in our area who are walking through The Dream Giver with me by Bruce Wilkinson, it's an amazing book. Any of you can pick it up and read it. it's short, it's a parable. The Dream Giver, Bruce Wilkinson. I highly recommend it. But if you don't think you have a dream, or you grew up in a family like mine, that we didn't talk about dreams. We talked about going to school and getting a good job and being a good person, you know, being responsible in the community, doing the right things. No talk about dreams. So when I came into Mary Kay and they're like, what, talking about your big dream, I'm like, well, what are we doing here? I don't know. This is foreign to me. This is another language. They might as well have been talking, Chinese. It was a different language that I grew up with. But Mary Kay, she founded this company, and she also made a succession plan so that she not only wanted to be part of it when she was alive, she wanted this to outlive her. And it has. We're 61 years old and in 40 plus countries. And for the second year in a row are the number one selling. So second year, number one selling skincare and color in the world direct selling company. And you guys, that's huge. There's a lot of direct selling companies, but there's none like Mary Kay. None like Mary Kay because of Mary Kay and how this is set up. We are not multi-level, and we will never be. We are never going to sell direct. Our president, Ryan, Mary Kay's grandson, who she wrote in her autobiography, she had lots of grandkids and lots of great grandkids. To Ryan, she wrote when he was like 7 years old, I know you will lead my company someday. So how fun was it that last year at leadership, he took the position of CEO of Mary Kay, and now he's also the president. So, and his cousin, Mary Kay's great granddaughter, Jessica Bear, runs the Mary Kay Ash Charitable Foundation. And if you don't know anything about it, check it out. Like, if you want to be part of something that's pretty spectacular, we're not only helping women feel better about themselves with how they wash their face and take care of themselves, and by having a personal beauty consultant that helps them meet their needs and encourages them and walks with them through life. I've been in Mary Kay 38 years. I have customers that have used Mary Kay 38 years. I have consultants that have been in the business 38 years. You guys, those are long, lifelong relationships with deep, deep roots, which is a rare thing these days. People change jobs every 24 months now. It's crazy. And people move around so much geographically, they don't have those deep roots. Those are precious. People were made to have relationships, and that definitely helps your mental health, is to have a solid group of people encouraging you, that that sometimes you're, encouraging them, and sometimes you need the encouragement and they're encouraging you. But we have heard the Mary Kay Ash Charitable Foundation, and that supports cancers that affect women, research, and eradicating domestic violence. And I love that at this last couple of conferences, they've actually, because if you have an arena of 5,000 women at a conference, 1 out of 4 right now is in a domestically violent situation. It could be physical, it could be verbal, it could be financial. There's lots of different types of domestic violence, and it has escalated since the pandemic. And so when you are out there sharing the Mary Kay story, you need to share that, because I know as a customer, I want to know where that company's dollars are going to, because there's some companies that their dollars are going to things that are definitely against my moral values. And they are definitely not in line with where I want. If we all work hard for our money, if I'm giving my money to something, I want to know what they're supporting. You can know that Mary Kay didn't start the foundation because a marketing company told us that Jen, XYZ, whatever they're on now, likes to be socially responsible and wants to do something of value, because that's who we've always been. When I was 23, and I think I was at the tail end of the baby boomers, I'm in between baby boomer and whatever next was, I loved the idea that what I did was of value to the human race. It helped women be better. It gave them hope. It gave them encouragement, and it gave them a way to get to their big dream. And what I found is a lot of people like myself, my big dream collided with Mary Kay, because this was the vehicle to get there. So Mary Kay had three tenets, three things that she says in the back of her autobiography. When she's gone, if these three things are protected, my company continues on. To build your business according to the golden rule, she believed that, you treat other people how you want to be treated yourself. And in sales, that's kind of unusual, but that's how we've done it and we'll continue to do it. Our highest award is the Go Give Award, meaning that you helped people out with no financial gain, but you did it because it was the right thing to do. The second thing she said, that she felt that life worked better when you prioritized as God first, family second, and career third. So she highly recommended that. And that was, to me, when I started this, coming out of a business school in Michigan, that was foreign. I had not heard that at business school at all, but I liked it. There was something about it like, really? Could you live and work like that? I thought you just lived on Sunday like that. And then Monday through Friday, you went into your Shark Tank mode. And then Saturday, you did your recreation. And I'm like, wow, like I've not heard or seen this in my life modeled, but I like how it looks and feels. And I saw the women that were at the top that had worked their way up from that consultant number to Cadillac directors, trip directors, national sales directors. And I loved that they were servant leaders and they got more humble as they rose up versus colder and protecting their territory that I had seen in corporate America. I loved it. God used that to draw me to him. Like there's a different way to live and work. There's a different way to live and work. And her third tenet was everyone has a dream inside, that it's our job to encourage out. Everyone's given a big dream. And so I'm asking you, like, what is that big dream? And right now it might be a little dream. It might be, and it might not be little for you. It may be getting out of credit card debt. It may be, paying for your kids, school that you want them to go to. It may be, giving your husband a break so that, he's not stressed out and lives less years because of the pressure he's under in a job that maybe he hates or he's not well suited for. It gives him an opportunity to do something. Instead of being a breadwinner, maybe he could pursue a dream and be financed. Mary Kay pays us to pursue our dreams. So what's a dream that you have? Maybe it's a dream vacation. Maybe it's a dream vacation to give to someone. Maybe it's a missionary you want to support. Maybe it's a ministry you want to support. Maybe you want to give more money away. I don't know what it is. It doesn't have to be the most perfect dream. Like when I say that, what's your dream? Like, what do you think of immediately? And then I want you to put a price tag on it. How much does that cost? Because all dreams cost money. Everything costs money. And if you don't choose to get a consultant number and allow us how to teach you to get that money, how else will you do it? If you have another way, great. But what I have found is that if you had another way, you'd already be doing it. Because if you're a woman who's willing to do something different to get something different, you already would be doing that other thing. So I have to believe that maybe you haven't been presented something that you have training and support. You have a 61-year track record. You have a 90% buyback policy from Mary Kay. So if it's not your cup of tea, they're buying back whatever you haven't sold and purchased in the last year. You're taking a 10% risk. You make a 50% profit. So, and they give you bonuses that far exceed the 10% risk. So you're risking no money whatsoever. So this is less risky than a marriage, a house, a car, or a baby. And I've seen people think more about getting a Mary Kay consultant number than all four of those, which is concerning if you think about it. So your dream has a cost. So consultants, maybe it's stepping up the pace to progress towards that dream more rapidly. For guests, maybe it's like, wow, maybe I'm hearing this, whether it's a recording or now, maybe I'm hearing this because I do need it. And honestly, again, I know in 38 years, I've been through other economies like this. Like sometimes people just need to be in a place that's hopeful. Because right now, the news and an election year, it's crazy. And there's a lot of fear. And there's a lot of lies being thrown around. And I will tell you in my 38 years, during these time periods, I remember 9/11, I remember 2008, 9, 91, 92. I remember those times. I turned the news off and I focused on what I could control. And that was helping women feel better about themselves through this product and giving them options through this opportunity. And I will tell you that has served me and my family really, really well. First off, they have a sane mom and wife, which is a good thing. And second off, our family wasn't at the whim of the economy at the time, because Mary Kay gave us this opportunity 61 years ago so that women could be in control of that if they chose to. So what dream needs to be financed, or what bill needs to be paid? And what do you have to lose? Honestly, I have been with women who, some do it for a season, some a reason, and some the long haul. And you're never going to know which one you are until you jump in. You know, I've had one woman, she started just to pay for a dream wedding because her mom was a single mom and didn't have the money. And literally, Ronette sold products, paid for a dream wedding, and then gave me her customers. She's like, okay, that's great. I'm done. Like, all right, it was fun. I mean, she reached her goal and gave me her customers to take care of. And then I've had some, you know, just for a season in life, and then some for the long haul. Everyone's been better for it. So you guys, that is what I wanted to share. I wanted to thank you for supporting your consultant as a guest, for watching the replay or being on live. Your consultant is trained on how to follow up with you. And so I'm going to let you know what that is so you can make sure that she's doing a good job. And if she hasn't said these words, say, okay, you were supposed to ask me this and you haven't yet. What did you enjoy about what you heard the most? If you ever did start a Mary Kay business, what would the reason be? And if your initial reaction is, I would never do it, like, that's not the question. The question is, if you ever did, because she needs to know what women are hearing, what's resonating with them, what's meaningful to them right now in this time and place in our country and in Mary Kay. Also, I'd like to hear if there is a reason that you'd ever do it, why would you be good? Please share with her why you'd be good. It helps us to know, like, if you tell me, you know, I'd be good at it because I've always wanted to start a business, or I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur, or, you know, I love underdog story. I love cheering women on, etc. Like, when I like to hear what people's strengths are, because I can say that is something that's going to help you be successful in Mary Kay. So let her know, why would you be good? And then the last thing is, what would hold you back from getting your consultant number? And she's trained to ask you. Remember, you told her why you would do it. And if it's to finance a dream or to pay a bill, then her next question is going to be, if you don't give Mary Kay a shot, how else is that possibly going to happen? How is that possibly going to happen? And, you know, honestly, if you get to the end of that, and there's nothing about it, you love the information, who can you share it with? Who do you know that your consultant needs to know? Because you guys, there's women out there that they need this information. They're praying right now because they don't know how the credit card's maxed out, how they're going to the grocery store to get food or gas in the car. And so your dreams are attached to other women's. And, you know, God does not lay a dream on your heart without already resourcing it. He doesn't. He's always faithful. Our job is just obedience. That's the tricky part right there. So you guys, thank you for joining. Get back with your consultant, the answers to those questions. I'm going to stop the recording and I will stay on to answer any questions if guests have them, or for consultant.